Welcome, movie buffs and entertainment enthusiasts, to another exciting episode of Let's Be Real. On today's show, we're going to be covering Greta Gerwig to direct the first two films of Chronicles of Narnia for Netflix. She'll also be shifting to big budget blockbuster films. We'll be covering the box office report where Insidious surprises. Tom Cruise apparently wants to star in Mission Impossible movies till he's 80 years old. We'll be covering the first reactions to Barbie. A new segment on the way, Box Office Pie. You have to wait and see what that's all about. Also, a surprise person will be appearing in Deadpool 3, which is not really a surprise since everyone's joining that movie. Also be covering Vanessa Kirby being offered a role in Fantastic Four. And for our grand finale, we're going to be finishing off with the New Zealand Film Festival preview. I'm your host, James, and I have the pleasure to be joined by the beautiful Nay. How are we going, man?
Beautiful. All right.
You are beautiful.
Thanks, lad.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Had a very good weekend. I'm sure as you did.
I was with you for most of the weekend anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Why was it great?
Because the Warriors and All Blacks won.
Oh, no. And you saw Mission Impossible.
And we saw Mission Impossible twice, yeah. Once for the screen and another on IMAX. Definitely go see it on IMAX. It's a lot better on IMAX.
It is definitely better. Yeah.
Because if anyone that listened to our review, we were contemplating how IMAX might change our thoughts.
Yeah.
I think it has. Me personally, it definitely has.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about you, but I feel you'll be on the same page as me.
I stick to what I said in terms of how it compares to Fallout.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah. But like definitely seeing it in IMAX was a lot better of an experience than VMAX. Yeah. It's still kind of a little bit bloated at times for me. Yeah. A lot of shifting parts to it, but yeah, no, IMAX was good. You're going to be expecting some weird scheduling from us in the next couple of weeks. Me and Nan have the most hectic schedule known to man, but an exciting schedule nonetheless. So next week or this week, we're going to be doing another Let's Be Real episode right at the end of the week because on
Sunday.
Yeah. Which would be...
It'll have to be on the morning.
Yeah. It would be Saturday for our American friends.
Yeah.
And then because on our Monday we're seeing Barbie, and then Tuesday we're seeing Oppenheimer, and then we got the film festival starting, and then we got Oppenheimer on the Thursday, and then movies Friday. We're busy Saturday, so we just have to like schedule it wherever we can really fit it in.
It's basically a movie a day until August, lads.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, it's going to be good. We're going to have lots of reviews coming your way.
It is.
Some good reviews as well.
Yeah, I'm sacrificing going to a Warriors game for a film festival, so it's a big deal for me.
That was a surprise, but we're going to a Warriors game on Sunday.
We are.
Probably after recording a Let's Be Real.
Pretty much straight after. It's gonna be a morning one.
It's going to be a morning one, but we're also going to an All Blacks game
on Saturday. That's going to be good. That's going to be an experience. I've never seen the All Blacks play South Africa before, and I've never seen the All Blacks play at Mount Smart before. It's usually at Eden Park. So
it's always at Eden Park, isn't it? Is this their first one in Auckland outside of Eden Park?
I actually don't know. They might have had like a few games way back when, but from my memory, it's the first one I can recall. Yeah.
What's in Eden Park?
What do you mean?
Why isn't it?
Oh, it's because the FIFA Women's World Cup is there, so
No.
scheduling conflicts and whatnot.
Of course, that makes sense. So yeah, you could have a very happy Nayan on Sunday, or a very sad, crying, angry Nayan. We'll look forward to that.
Or
but yeah, let's just hope that there's a good solid news week in the next 6 days, because this week there was not much news to go off, so we've had to be a little bit creative with it. Before we dive into the action, we just want to hear from you guys, our listeners. Slide into our DMs on Twitter with your suggestions and topics you'd like us to cover. Who knows, might just make it into our show. Now, if you're wondering what we look like, trust me, you're in for a treat. We look way better than we sound, and subscribing to our YouTube channel is the best way to witness our faces. So help us get onto video. That is our goal, and support us there. Plus, for more exclusive content, head over to MovieGainz.com, your go-to source for box office predictions, movie reviews, and physical media coverage. You can find the links to all this in the description below. Shout out to you guys for listening to us today. We appreciate being a part of your day, and we're here to entertain, inform, and provide bad movie recommendations. So, without further ado, let's get to it.
You got me there.
All right, Chronicles of Narnia. Barbie director Greta Gerwig is apparently going to be directing 2 films in the franchise. I think I said before that it was the first 2, but upon reading the report in closer detail. It's just 2 films. It's not the first 2 films. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, Netflix, they acquired the film and TV rights to C.S. Lewis book series in 2018. There hasn't been a formal official announcement yet, and Netflix hasn't commented on it. But the New Yorker is reporting that a deal has been made with Greta Gerwig. So yeah, what are your thoughts on this in terms of Chronicles of Narnia becoming back as a franchise, it being on Netflix, and Greta Gerwig being a part of it?
The OG Chronicles of Narnia came out like early 2000s, right? Or
2005, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, so okay, mid early 2000s and 5. That's fine. I mean, Chronicles of Narnia was really enjoyable for me personally.
I love the first one.
Yeah, I haven't watched it recently, but just from memory, from when I was a kid, I watched it. I enjoy Prince Caspian, and then I didn't watch the others.
Voyage of the Dawn Treader. I think there was only 3.
3.
I didn't like Caspian. Yeah.
Yeah, so seeing that franchise, and it's a very iconic book franchise as well, by far. Like, you definitely study at school at some point, here in New Zealand at least. So yeah, I am actually excited to see this. Greta Gerwig as well. I mean, Lady Bird and Little Woman and Barbie on the way. She's a very, very capable director as well. It is somewhat out of her comfort zone because she's really used to like somewhat original stuff where she can apply some real world themes and like emotional hooks in that.
Yeah.
So with her like adapting an actual source material, she can't really she probably can.
I guess Little Woman counts as source material.
Does it?
Yeah, because there's been like lots of films and that's on a book as well. But yeah, like with that kind of thing, she would have had more space to change things up and change themes and whatnot. Yeah,
but with this, you have to appeal to like a big fan base, really.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what sort of Greta Gerwig sort of spin she can put onto it. But I have complete faith in her that she can do it.
Yeah.
If it's the first 2 movies, that's great. Because that means she's like setting up this franchise, and then if it goes well, she might sign on to do the rest as well. And it's through Netflix as well. I mean, I know they're pretty hit and miss sometimes with their film content, but
understatement, yeah.
But from my memory, this is probably one of the biggest, like, or most acclaimed director they have filming or directing one of their films.
Oh, David Fincher for Mank. I remember that one.
Oh, was it on Netflix?
Yeah, it was a Netflix exclusive one. Yeah. They've had a few. Martin Scorsese, Irishman.
Oh yeah, okay, one off then. One off. I'll change that statement to one off. One off.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, Chronicles of Narnia, we haven't seen it in a decade plus, like a film. So now is a good time to reboot it for not only for nostalgic purposes for you and I, but also for the new generation going on.
I agree. Yeah, I think with the Narnia franchise, I think the first one was actually good, and I think it was actually really well received. But the other 2 are barely like memorable, and I don't even remember like much of a release for the 3rd one. It died really fast. So I think you're right in terms of this being the right time for it to be rebooted, because there's been enough time for that series to die out as it failed pretty much completely, and then. With Greta Gerwig signing on for 2 movies, I think that's a good thing because the original one back in 2005 only really had that 1 movie going for it. And if at least Greta Gerwig's on for 2, you're going to get quality for 2.
I feel for that first one. It was just more of a let's try this and see where it goes. They didn't actually like plan it for the other 2 movies. They were just like, we'll make it and see how it goes, and it was very well receptive. So like, oh shit, okay, cool. Let's quickly make the next one.
Yeah, and then it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be interesting. I don't like that it's on Netflix. I'm so sick of Netflix, honestly.
It's because they don't do physical media.
They don't do physical media, and their theatrical releases are poor. They're just all over the place.
Is this actually going to come out in theaters? Or to be fair, it's still hearsay, so we don't know those details yet, right?
What's that?
If this is actually going to release in theaters.
Well, yeah, I imagine they will, because they do theatrical releases for like a week or 2 before it comes out on Netflix.
Yeah,
we've seen a couple of Netflix movies in cinemas.
Yeah. The Grey Man was one.
Yeah, Roma, that was one too.
Red Notice.
Yeah, we didn't see that in cinemas. I think we got a screener for that one.
I feel we did still in cinemas technically.
No, we didn't have a screening, a screener.
Ah,
Yeah,
so I watched it in the cinema.
maybe you did. I don't remember. I don't remember watching the movie, if I'm being honest. But I know I've seen it. But yeah, no. So I just hope that it comes out in theaters. They give it a good run, and actually like a proper release. Say, something that comes in VMAX and it's a wide release, just with Netflix names attached to it. They just got to do that. I'm be really interested to see the numbers. What kind of budget are they going to do? Something really like low key? Is it going to look like a Netflix movie, or are they going to put real money into it? Say 100 to 150. You can make a good Narnia movie with 150, I think.
I feel because it's so fantastical in terms of fantasy wise, that they sort of need to put a lot of budget into it because you not only do you have like CGI and whatnot, but you also got costuming, set designs because they go through so many different like sets and whatnot throughout that Narnia world as well.
Yeah.
And then you also have Aslan. Is he the lion?
Yes, he's the lion.
Need to put some decent budget into him because he's essentially a main character and one of the core ones in the Narnia franchise.
He is.
So I think it should be quite high, like hundreds to close to 200s, I reckon. Yeah.
It definitely needs some money put into it. As for, locations, I hope New Zealand gets a shout again.
Oh, yeah, because we did the film.
Yeah. So New Zealand's got some great landscapes for something like this. So, yeah, hopefully they do that. But speaking of Greta Gerwig and Narnia, she's made some comments recently about how, and her agent as well, about how she's going to be kind of transitioning to bigger budget filmmaking. Basically, she said that she wants to be a big studio director. She kind of wants to tackle it like a weekend buddy, Christopher Nolan. She says that she wants to play in different worlds, swing between big films and smaller films, and just basically wants to have the freedom kind of pick and choose what projects she wants to take on. What are your thoughts on basically her becoming a big budget filmmaker? And is there any specific kind of world or franchise you'd want her to be involved in?
I think it's great. I mean, she's not really well known to the common person, but her films are fantastic.
Yeah,
definitely. Barbie's definitely going to put her on the map for sure, regardless if it's bad or good.
Yeah,
definitely eyes will be on her for that film, so that's a good step forward for her. And it's good to see that she said that she doesn't just want to do blockbuster films. She wants to do she wants to have her big blockbuster stuff to fund her little stuff, which is good. So we're going to get those smaller films from her, similar to Christopher Nolan, except I think now Christopher Nolan's he's a blockbuster sort of director, but not in a blockbuster in the traditional sense, he is a blockbuster.
No, he's like the household director. I would say he's the most popular director working today in terms of getting people into seats.
Yeah. So it's nice to see that she wants to try something new. Like she wants to give a proper big blockbuster a go. I think she'll be able to nail it, depending on the project as well. And as long as it can fund her other projects, like it did for Nolan in his earlier days. Sorry.
Yeah.
It'll be fantastic. I mean, we could literally see the next Inception or The Dark Knight from Greta Gerwig. From her. So I'm all for it. It's a good choice for her as well, because she's still sticking true to her roots without selling out technically.
Yeah.
In terms of franchise, I don't know. It's too hard to be put onto the spot with that. I mean, obviously the first answer is going to be anything comic book related, but I don't think it should be comic book related. I think her franchise is Narnia right now, and I think she should focus on that because I think she can do a really good job on.
It's a franchise that needs to start, or it has potential. And so if I heard her unlock that, would be cool.
Or even a Barbie franchise. I mean, that whole world is literally her oyster.
Yeah.
If it's super successful, she can literally make that
more Barbie stuff is coming. I promise you that.
Definitely, probably, yeah.
No doubt about it.
But yeah, Barbie could be her advertised. It was for James Cameron,
Yeah. I mean, I like it, and I like it in the way that you described it with Christopher Nolan, how he does go from really big, large scale stuff, and then he comes down to smaller scale stuff. So in that sense, I do love the move for Greta Gerwig. It's like you said, it's not selling out, just going to, Marvel or something like that. She can actually have freedom to keep her visions and creative integrity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The thing with Nolan is that he, like you said, he is a blockbuster, and he is able to command an Oppenheimer movie that cost $100 million to be 3 hours long, have black and white scenes, be R-rated, and just dominate IMAX. He is that kind of power. So
because he worked his way up to that.
He did work his way up to that. Absolutely correct. So if she's heading to that level, then absolutely, because we need more of these kind of directors where they can come into a studio and be like, I want to make a movie about such and such. I'm going to need $150 million for it, and I want to be playing in this format for this amount of weeks.
True filmmakers, people that are passionate about this industry rather than just paycheck to go on to the next one.
Yeah. And it's like where, the director can come in and they can be like to the studio, like, cool, fund this movie. I'll make it. We're going to make good box office. Get the fuck out of my way. I'm going to make this movie kind of thing. Yeah. Stuff like, Denis Villeneuve as well. He's someone that can just come in and do that for the most part. Martin Scorsese, obviously.
Spielberg as well.
Yeah. So
those bigger, older boys.
And the potential that Greta Gerwig has shown so far, definitely got potential to be that next person. I really thought it was going to be Patty Jenkins in terms of a woman director being to this kind of caliber in terms of how popular they become.
Was it because of Wonder Woman and then...
Yeah, the first one blew up.
And then like all eyes are on her and then Wonder Woman 2 happened and it just...
Yeah, and then she got booted off the Star Wars movie because she was signed on for a Star Wars movie. Owned the Wonder Woman franchise.
She had a good like future set up as well.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, yep. So she's going to be like the first like woman director to be on a really large scale,
which is sort of annoying. Like if they were, I'm just going to assume they're judging on Wonder Woman 84, like how that bombed, and then they just got rid of her for those projects. Whether it's like they didn't want to invest in that, or because of she didn't, the studios didn't think that she was capable enough. It's a bit harsh, like judging.
It is harsh,
judging someone on one film. Like they had like an excellent film, and then like obviously a dud. You learn from your mistakes. I'm sure if Wonder Woman 3 was an actual thing, before James Gunn came on, I think she would have nailed it really, because you would have learned from those mistakes and criticisms.
No, I mean I definitely agree. But it is Hollywood at the end of the day.
Yeah,
it's a tough business, and you kind of got to always be on your game, always producing and making money for them.
Pretty much.
Because, millions are at stake. Talking about millions of dollars, we're going to move on to the box office report for the weekend. So at number one, it's not Indiana Jones. It's Insidious, The Red Door, with 32.7 million. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny comes second with 26.5 million. Third is The Sound of Freedom with 18.2 million. And fourth is Elemental, 9.6 million. And fifth, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse at 8 million. Nay, what's your thoughts on these box office results for the weekend?
Good whole element. I'm starting differently to how people would expect me to start, or us to start. Elemental, that overtook Spider-Verse. Like Spider-Verse was always ahead, and now it's jumped ahead of Spider-Verse, which is fantastic for Elemental and Pixar, because it goes to show that their word of mouth is good. Like that they did have a very poor marketing, and that transitioned into their first weekend box office. But I think it's
best weekend hold of the world.
Ever since then, it's just sustained, nicely to like reasonable drops as well.
Yeah.
So clearly, this is a big hit for Pixar. And if they don't realize that, they probably should, considering if you take in all the factors.
Yeah.
Across the Spider-Verse, I feel this might be the last week we'll see it in that top 5.
Yeah, with Mission Impossible.
Because Mission Impossible coming out, that might bump it out.
Yeah.
Or Insidious or Indiana Jones could drop out.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones, I mean, yeah. It's a bomb. Disney's made a big loss here, and they just need to take it on the chin. And just take it on the chin.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to make budget. It's not going to make any more money than what it is now. It's slowly going to have big drops as well. Insidious, that is coming from a popular horror franchise as well.
Yeah, and they it's got the original cast in it.
Yeah, so it doesn't quite surprise me as to why this is number one. If it was like The Boogeyman, for example, like a lesser known something
that
new.
did well as well.
Yeah,
for the circumstances.
Something new. Then I'll be a lot more shocked, but because this is like it's got a legacy behind it.
Yep.
It's good for it. Never heard of Sound of Freedom, but good on it for coming in midway.
I think it's like a Independence Day kind of movie because it debuted on Independence Day.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense then, yeah. But yeah, come next week, this whole entire top 5 is going to be so different.
Yeah.
I reckon. I think Insidious will retain there. I think Indiana Jones will be in the bottom 2. I do think
4 and 5.
I do think Spider-Verse will drop out.
Uh-huh.
And I think Elemental might be number 5.
Yeah,
I think it'll be the 5th one.
Yeah.
Where everything else falls in above. Mission Impossible is obviously going to be number 1, but in between there, who knows? It's anyone's game except for Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I mean, why the budget's $329 million? I don't know. Even with the COVID inflated costs.
I was about to say, when was it? Can you recall when its original release date was? Was it during COVID or was it like during 2021?
I know it filmed during COVID. So
if it filmed during COVID, that's like 2 years. So let's say 21, 22, probably would have had one delay.
Yeah.
That didn't have that. It wouldn't have had.
It was delayed 1 year.
Yeah, that's still a lot. I mean, Mission Impossible is supposed to come out in like 2020. It's been delayed like 3-4 times.
That's $295 million, the budget. So
yeah,
they're all massive because of COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, the Batman, that doubled its budget because of COVID stuff.
Literally.
Yeah. And like the thing that people don't realize as well, like inflation's a real thing. So the cost of sets, the cost of hiring people, the cost of costuming, everything has gone up in price.
Paint.
Yeah. Pink paint. There are some directors that can pull out like just very impressive budgets for what you see on the screen. And I'm sure Barbie will be a testament to that. But yeah, inflation is, I don't want to get into it, but I think it's like 9% in the US. So from pre-COVID times to this, it's a 9% bump. When you're talking in the range of 200 million, that's like 20 million, nearly 18 million, I think, which is significant. Yeah. So there is going to be all this like inflated budgets because of that. So I don't blame too much, but when it's Indiana Jones and when it's the Flash level bomb, that's bad.
Especially if it's the last Indiana Jones, because you would think that nostalgia will drive it. I mean, bad example, but good example is Jurassic World Dominion. They had the original trio coming back. That did average, but it crawled its way to $1 billion without a major drop or anything. I mean,
people hated it, and it still got to $1 billion.
It was a horrible movie, and this, I feel this is a lot better than Dominion.
Yeah,
and it's not even going to reach probably 300. Or it's not even going to reach his budget, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, a good example for what movie's done like where it's understandable is Rise of the Beast. That was $180 to $200 million movie, and it's at $407 million.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty good. And its budget would have been a little bit inflated from the COVID stuff. So for that kind of money to be made is actually not too bad when you consider all of the factors that were a part of, the expenses of the movie.
Yeah.
But just my overall thoughts on this. Insidious, it still went way past. I really did think Indiana Jones was going to win the weekend. Because, it was, the projections were around 20 to 24 million for Insidious. And it kind of blew up. I think it does show that there is a demand for horror movies.
Sorry.
And
did they get half off Indiana Jones's opening weekend?
Yes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, Flash made 55 opening weekend. Insidious had a higher opening than Elemental.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carry on, mate. Sorry, that thought just came to my mind. I was like, hold up.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still pretty like crazy when you consider it alongside all these big movies that have come out this year. But yeah, back to you threw me off my game.
I'm sorry.
Nah, you're good. You're good. Yeah, but so for Indiana Jones, dropped 56%. I was expecting a little bit better of a hold just due to the lack of competition this weekend, and I just thought it'd hold on a little bit better because I know next weekend it's going to be destroyed, and then Barbenheimer after that. So yeah, it's really not going to go much higher anymore, which is sad to see. Back to Insidious though, C+ cinema score. So I expect this to drop a good 70% next weekend. It's going to drop heavy. Sound of Freedom though, A+ cinema score. Don't know if that translates to a good, long, lengthy run because, it released on the Tuesday. It's already at 40 million in the US, which is pretty good. So I think the fact that it's like such a holiday-based movie, I think it'll still drop off pretty hard. But yeah, you nailed it with Elemental. Word of mouth, man. It is king. Fun fact, Elemental, which opened up, I think, 25 million under The Flash. It's above The Flash now in domestic total.
I'm not surprised. Do you know what Flash made this weekend? You don't have to look into it or anything. I just
2.2 million. And it's 12th.
That's our Lotto like Powerball right now. Probably no, our Lotto Powerball is more than that.
Another fun fact: Asteroid City and The Flash. They've both been out for 4 weeks, and Asteroid City came 11th. Flash came 12th this weekend.
And yet we're going to get Asteroid City on digital, which pisses me the fuck off sooner than Flash.
Little Mermaid came 9th.
The fuck? That released like how many months ago?
Yeah, that's on its 7th weekend. Yeah, no.
Oh, that's so funny. Holy shit.
And Transformers is holding up so great, man. I mean, it dropped 32%. No Hard Feelings dropped 33%. It's good hold. But yeah, Mission Impossible is going to change the box office landscape next weekend. It opens up on Wednesday for the US. So you're looking at like a 5-day weekend.
This is a real this is a real different like release schedule because for us it released on a Sunday officially.
No, there was screenings on Saturday after our one, yeah.
So Saturday after say 10 o'clock or so.
It's like Saturday previews and then Sunday official. Yeah, it's
yeah. Where typically in New Zealand it's Thursday, in States it's Friday. So they're really trying to like. I think this is because of the Nolan, the Oppenheimer sort of release of IMAX. Yeah. So they're trying to push it that early.
Yeah.
I could probably understand why they didn't push it a month or a week earlier, maybe because of like, world premiere commitments and stuff like that. They're already organized at events, not set on that date, so they couldn't have it any earlier. Yeah. So I think the reason why they're doing it this early is because like they could. But if they didn't have that world premiere sort of locked in, 100% this would have been released this week. Yeah,
because they got to have all the premieres, and they had multiple premieres. They had one in Rome,
Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney. They had a big one there. That one looks really cool.
Fucking Tom Cruise is like 4-hour flight.
I know, he's so close to us. Just jump over here for our premiere. Did you see like them like the fireworks and stuff? Oh man.
I was like, you can hit. It's not the same as at Auckland Ridge, but just come here, man.
We need Paramount to send us over to Sydney. Yeah, but I think because we're just talking about it on our giveaway tickets, it said July 11th, and that's the New Zealand poster. So I think it was a last minute change.
I think so too.
So it's going to be a weird weekend, but Mission Impossible needs to get everything it can from IMAX and premium screens, because I know in New Zealand, Oppenheimer has IMAX exclusively. Because
for 3 weeks, right?
Yeah. And IMAX, the company, have said that Nolan has supported us forever. So it's not about what's going to make more money in IMAX. We're putting our trust in Nolan and giving faith to that. Yeah. And they said maybe after the 3-week period, Mission Impossible can come back in, but no guarantee.
Yeah, I'd read that as well. Yeah.
So that's a respectable move by a company. It's a good relationship Nolan and IMAX have.
It's good for the future as well, considering that he's like reinventing technology for that particular viewing experience.
Yeah.
That IMAX would have never thought of that could be done.
I know.
In cinema, they probably just thought, let's have a X-by-X screen and certain sound, and this is the max we could get. And then Nolan comes along and just pushes everything to the boundaries.
It's crazy because you haven't seen Dunkirk.
No, I have not. And that's a sore spot for me.
We saw Tenet in IMAX, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So what you saw with Mission Impossible IMAX last night, it's not the full aspect ratio. Yeah,
I realized that because it was only like for some video it was here, but I understand it's like
It's a square pretty much. Yeah. And I know Nolan movies it uses a square.
That's why I'm hyped for Oppenheimer.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that's the case for this one. I don't always understand the details of technology, but I know with Nolan movies, it's always the big picture,
full scope,
and your peripherals are just it covers everything. We're gonna see Cillian Murphy right up close. But speaking of Mission Impossible premieres, Sydney premiere we were just talking about. So the Sydney Herald, they were interviewing Tom Cruise at the event, and he was saying that he hopes to have the same longevity as Harrison Ford by playing Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible movies. in the future, all the way up to 80 years old, because Harrison Ford is 80 years old, Tom Cruise is 61. Now, with this franchise, we have heard that Dead Reckoning Part 1 and Part 2 is the end, the close, and then the director, Christopher McQuarrie, has come out and said, we got more plans or something along those lines. And now we got Tom Cruise saying he wants to play it until he's 80 years old. Do you want to see an end to this franchise or the Ethan Hunt character? And do you think it's the right move, or do you think it's the right move for it to carry on till when he's 80? Or
I think his comments are taken a little bit out of context. I think he's sort of Harrison Ford and is like, oh hey, I can play this role until I'm 80.
Yeah, we could just be taking it too far, but
he's probably just like making a joke or something, and whoever's interviewing was like, oh blah blah blah, boom, story, views, clicks. Yep. I do think, and because I know that these two franchises get compared a lot, is Mission Impossible and James Bond. Yeah. I do think that this franchise has the capabilities of James Bond, where like it can be like a legacy sort of franchise, can keep recasting, keep having different stories, different antagonists, whatnot, blah 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 blah, and different actors. And I think this is it. I think Tom Cruise is the Sean Connery of back then. Sean Connery was the original James Bond. He did it for I think 5 or 6 films. Cruise is doing it for 8 by the time Dead Reckoning Part 2 comes out. So I think he's laying the foundations, and obviously Ethan Hunt, I'm doing bunny ears here, sorry guys, can keep going on, but as a different actor and whatnot. Yeah. And then you can always have callbacks. You can have Tom Cruise as like the director of the IMF when he's 80. I don't think he's saying I'm going to be playing Ethan Hunt doing all these stunts when I'm 80. I think it's just like I can be part of this franchise until I'm 80. Yeah. Whether I'm Ethan Hunt or someone else, or it's totally different. If he is committed to 80 years old, we're going the other spectrum now. 80 years old, being Ethan Hunt doing those stunts. Kudos to him. It's very there is not a single actor that puts as much commitment into his performance as Tom Cruise does. He does everything. Yeah. He does acting, producing. Yeah. He even does his own stunt work to the point it can training to the point it can literally kill him. Just on an off day with him where he's a bit fatigued. Yeah. Riding a motorcycle, he makes a wrong turn, boom, he could be dead. Because if you watch any Mission Impossible franchise, this dude does not wear protective gear. He does not wear protective gear.
It is crazy what he puts into it. Yeah.
So, in terms of as a fan and seeing the sort of crazy, stupid stunts that he does, which is awesome to see, I'll be all for it. Yeah. But I think he probably does need to tone it down or retire the character or something. He can still be involved in Mission Impossible. I think we've discussed this before. He can still be part of that franchise. He can either be a different character or he can still be Ethan Hunt and mentoring the next generation of IMF. Yeah. And then that's where the franchise can go into. We can have a new Ethan Hunt. And that could easily take him to 80 years old. Yeah. That's another 20 years of him building up the next Ethan Hunt. Easy. Definitely. Yeah. Easy, but Either way, it's a win-win and a lose-lose, or a win-lose for him. Win-win for us, we get great entertainment. Win-lose for him is he gets to keep on this franchise, but his body's going to hate him by the time he gets 80. Yeah.
No, you put that perfectly. Honestly, what you said is what I want as a fan. To him, I think Dead Reckoning should start to phase out of the franchise as the Ethan Hunt role, in terms of him being front and center, and push it on to newcomers. Hayley Atwell, for one, she was great and can be an addition that can go on a little bit longer as well. But I don't want the Mission Impossible franchise to end. I want the Ethan Hunt main character storyline to end.
So similar to what Star Wars is doing, how the Skywalker saga is ending, going to something else. Would you not prefer the James Bond route where it's reboot?
Oh, yeah, I don't want to reboot in the sense of reincarnation of Ethan Hunt. Just where he's I've done my time. I went above and beyond for the world and for, this organization. You are the main guy now. I'll be here for support if you need it. And he just basically shows up as a cameo. And then Tom Cruise can fall back towards, writing and producing it a more in a more involved level, and maybe directorial debut as for a Mission Impossible movie. I don't think him being 80 years old and being in a Mission Impossible movie makes sense from a main character kind of point of view. We saw Harrison Ford, and
it was just slow. It was sluggish. It's stiff.
It didn't look good.
I could feel his shoulder pop when he jumped on that horse, and I could feel his knee snap when he was climbing up that wall.
Yeah. He is just really slow. But they're both action legends at the end of the day, and if he wants to play to 80 years old, I say what you say. Good for him. I don't know if the audience will want that, and at some point you got to start thinking of the future beyond Tom Cruise.
To be fair, I just think it's hit him and stuff. He saw Indiana Jones, he's on a hype. He's at a premiere and is like, yes, I want to keep playing this character because he's passionate about Ethan Hunt.
It's definitely his best one. Yeah,
it's probably his breakout role. Really, he was in Top Gun.
He's been in loads of stuff.
He was, but earlier years, he was in Top Gun, and that was something that put him on the map. But Top Gun, not Top Gun, Mission Impossible was
it's his baby, really. Yeah,
what broke him out, and then he's always had a hand in that franchise. So obviously he doesn't want to give that up. So passionate about that. Yeah. So I do think it's heat in the moment sort of comments, but
I think when the hype dies down and you have a time to think, his involvement should absolutely be there for future Mission Impossible, just in a different way. And I would love for his directorial debut, if he was to do that, be in the Mission Impossible movie.
Because he knows the franchise so well.
Yeah, he knows the franchise. He knows how to do stunts. He knows what's involved for actors to do them. And he can direct actors to do real stunts.
Yeah.
And if the actor's like, no, I'm too scared, put a green screen there, he's going to no. You train, you do it. Exactly. So I just think that's where he would be really good. And I would just love to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Move on to some Barbie stuff now. The Weekend. Barbenheimer is shortly approaching. And next week we're gonna be seeing Barbie and Oppenheimer. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's been hyped up so much.
James number 1 v my number 1.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh man, it's gonna be such a good back-to-back screenings for us. It is. Basically, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, just god tier days. I'm looking forward to it, and it doesn't feel real that it's here, but we do have the reactions to Barbie, the first one that you are most looking forward to for the year. So for this one, the reactions, I've just seen a few. I don't think I'm going to dive into the reactions much because I just want to go in with a bit more of a clearer mind. But from what I did see, Ryan Gosling is the standout for the movie. All the reactions were talking about him. I even saw one suggest that he should be nominated for an Oscar. So they're praising him heavy. They're also saying that it's a bit more than what the trailer suggests in terms of just being surface level, funny, haha, Barbie. It's smart, it's funny, and as we can see from the trailers, the costuming and production design, there's just such incredible craftsmanship in that. So, Nan, what are your takeaways from these reactions?
It's pretty much what we discussed on and off here. Throughout the sorry. We went on air. Anyone that's
turned on the side.
Yeah. We have a little on-air thing, and I said on and off air, and I looked in, I was like, oh, wait, it's off. And I decided to click it on. So anyway, that's pretty much what we discussed on and off air, pretty much all the things, maybe apart from the first point about Ryan Gosling that was talked about.
Yep.
I mean, from the trailers, we always knew that he was going to be a standout.
You think so?
Yeah, well, for me personally, I don't know if I said it out loud or anything, but I always did. I think majority of those trailers, he was the main highlight of those points
because he's just funny and he's just dumb and
he's a Ken. Sorry to the Kens of that world, but yeah, and stuff like that. In terms of going as far for an Oscar nomination, that does get me excited.
Yeah,
because just watching how he is in that trailer, he's just a jock. How can a jock get nominated for an Oscar? So I hope this is true.
It's actually proper good, not just funny. Standout.
Yeah. So I do hope that it's what you just said, and that he does genuinely steal the show, somewhat to how Momoa stole the show in Fast X.
Yes. Yeah.
No one's expecting to, but just did.
Yeah.
more than what the trailer suggests. I think we had inklings about this because it's Greta Gerwig.
We'd always talked about this, yeah.
It's Greta Gerwig, and if you saw Ladybird and Little Woman, there's always a deeper meaning towards her films.
Yeah.
And I think that final trailer that we discussed a couple weeks ago, that nailed it for us. I was like, there's something big here.
Yeah.
And that's what that comment suggests. Production design, obviously they ran the pink paint dry, literally.
In the world, yeah.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be fantastic. Like, you just, first trailer, you're an idiot if you don't think the production's good, because, Jesus, come on.
Yeah.
Funny and smart. I mean, those trailers have been pretty funny and whatnot. So, yeah, this is pretty much all reactions that we sort of somewhat new, except for that Ryan Gosling one. That's the one that intrigues me the most from this, because I'm really excited to see what his performance is like now. You haven't mentioned anything about Margot Robbie, so I just assume that she's just Margot Robbie. You know, she's just consistent. She's very great and fantastic in her role. Yeah, and I'm sort of glad that you probably did this for me, not like putting anything in there about the script and whatnot about people's reactions to the plot.
They are just tweets at the end of the day, and I saw about 6. I only went to go find 6 from people that I know and trust. So yeah, you can take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, in the sense that it's a very low sample size. But you can also take it with a little bit of validity that these are legitimate Rotten Tomatoes approved critics. And I did not cherry pick, but edit it in a way that kind of limited information for you. They're not too much anticipated. I know you want to go in quite dry, but it's something we got to cover. And you know, they weren't all like over and above positive, but for the most part, it is really good. But it's basically like a Mission Impossible in terms of the reactions and stuff like that. Yeah. And I think the review embargo, the official critic one, comes on Thursday for us or Friday for us.
So that's when we get the score.
That's when we get the score. I kind of want to not see the score.
Me too. If you had to put a number on it, percentage-wise, what do you think this, based on the reactions and what we've seen through trailers, clips, etc., what do you think the score would hit?
That's tough
right now.
It's really hard to predict that, just because, you know, me and you had always talked about. I'm going to discuss one of the points in here about how it's more than the trailer suggests. Me and you were always watching it and be like, nah, there's more to this, because I can't see Greta Gerwig Barbie and not have, you know, powerful themes about self-esteem and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. And these reactions allude to there's more than what meets the eye in the trailers. So it's hard to, it depends if the themes really land with the majority of critics. I think it'll be over 90%. I would say over 90%. Because while not all the comments about it were positive, the overall tweet was positive. The overall reactions were positive from all the ones that I did see.
What are the negative stuff, if you can remember off your top of your head? Doesn't matter if you can't.
It was just some stuff. They said that what they did with Margot Robbie's Barbie character was really good, but there's some other characters where they could have explored their arcs a little bit more.
Spin-off.
Spin-off for Ken. But I mean, yeah, no, I'm right with you in terms of Ryan Gosling. It gets me super excited to see what this could be. Yeah. Because they're not just saying, like we just said, you know, a standout, haha, he makes the funniest jokes, and I was rolling and laughing on the ground.
The Korg of Ragnarok.
No.
Ragnarok.
Yes. Not of Love and Thunder. But for him to be a standout in a compelling way, in a way that maybe he should get nominated for an Oscar, I think that's really intriguing. But these reactions just kind of, they just get me excited. And I can kind of, you know, sleep easy knowing that this is going to be a good movie. I don't know how great it's going to be, but I at least know that it's going to be good. And I'm not going to say I had doubt, but I was always like wondering, it's a movie that might not be great. Like, it is a Barbie. It is a Barbie movie. Greta Gerwig's only done 2 good movies. Granted, it's her only 2 movies, but there's no like reassurance that you know it's going to be a great movie. Yeah. You look at the Oppenheimer info and trailers, and you're like, that's at least going to be good. Like, there's just no way that can be bad. At least the way I perceive it. Like, I just can't imagine that being bad. But I could see a world where there's a bad Barbie movie and the overhype or the amount of hype surrounding it kills it. Perhaps everyone's expectations skyrocket because of great trailers and all that kind of stuff. So
you had it in your mid-range for your most anticipated, eh?
Barbie.
Yeah.
I think it might have been third.
Oh.
Because I know Mission Impossible was second. Oppenheimer was first. I know Dune 7th, Spider-Verse 6th. So there's 5, 4, and 3. I don't know what I'd put in there.
There's a meme going around in MG, which is me and James, about how I have a curse of like being so anticipated for films and they just not.
He does have a curse.
And not.
By the way.
Yeah, I do. And not reaching it. Spider-Man broke that because I had it higher than you did.
You got lucky once.
And I'm hoping Barbie can come through for me to break that curse. Let's go, Barbs.
No, it's going to be Oppenheimer. No. Because what was your...
My second was Oppenheimer.
No, it's because you said that you had Asteroid City as like your like fifth or top 5 or something like that.
That's because I like Wes Anderson films.
You do. No, I'm just trying to see what I would have. I don't know what I would have in my top 10. I think I had Guardians at third, actually.
I think you had Guardians very, very high.
Yeah, sure. And then I would have had Barbie fourth, and I think I had John Wick at fifth. I don't know why I had John Wick above the Spider-Verse. I actually wasn't looking forward to Spider-Verse that much. I didn't think the marketing really did it for me. I trusted the Into the Spider-Verse and the Spider-Man character, which is why it got so high.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point. I'm really looking forward to Barbie as well. You know, I've been excited for this for, what has it been, like 3 years now?
Ever since I come on, I think the year after when I came on. So I came on 2019 at MG. I think 2020 when this project got announced and Young Kyan, who used to be with us, started talking about this. I was like, if I could talk about some Barbie movie. And then as more details came out and stuff, I was like, okay, fuck, this is it. It's my number one. And that's why you guys were so shocked when I had it in my number one.
Guys, he didn't have Dune in his top 10. So it's going to be great.
It's an honorable mention, so it's good enough.
It's still not in the top 10.
If I saw that fucking trailer, it would have been in there.
Yeah. Okay. But when it comes to Barbie, I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Just hearing everything about it, who was behind it. Yeah, I had it in my top 10 back in 2020. And I think that's when I had it like 9th or 10th. And then I think Kyan did as well. But I was like surprising the guys. I thought it'd be like a surprise pick for them. And I just remember Nan's face when I had it there at like 10. Like, what?
It's like the fucking.
Like, he thought I was joking. And then Kyan had it in his list as well.
I think when we did that list, that was the first time I knew about the Barbie movie. So I was like, the fuck? Because it's like, first of all, the fuck a Barbie movie, and then the second, the fuck is a Barbie movie coming out? Like, the fuck cunts? Come on.
And then, the Marriage Story writer and director writing it with his wife. And then she had done Lady Bird and Little Woman. There's loads of reasons to be excited for it. But yeah, the reactions are really a testament to our excitement for it because, this time next week, we're going to be in the middle of a bar. Or it's going to be starting in about 2 minutes this time next week.
Oh, shit. We're going to be in all out war. Me and James, we're going to be punching each other. We're going to be in slings, crutches. He'll be in a sling. I'll be in a crutch. It's going to be a war.
It's not going to be a war. We're going to celebrate together. Our number ones back to back. I think that's a cool thing.
No, it's a battle.
No, it's not a battle. They're teaming up. They're saving cinema.
They're teaming up against Indiana Jones and The Flash.
They've already won. They don't even have to release to beat those ones. But we're going to move on now to a new segment.
Yes.
Box office pie.
Now I'm hungry.
Now you're hungry. It's going to be the most edible segment that we do here. Oh, my puns are always great. Okay, yeah. So I'll explain this one. So the box office pie. It'd be much better if we had a visual for you guys, but I'm going to try to explain it as best I can. The box office pie is for 2025 blockbusters. It is basically a percentage of who I think will take the box office crown. So, if a movie has a percent, then I believe it has a chance and I'll provide a little bit more context and rationale to what I think has a chance. If it's not mentioned, then I believe it has 0% chance. So if you don't see the movie that you want to win box office, I think it has literally 0% chance. So yeah, that's pretty much the main gist of it. And Nain is basically just going to argue or contest me if he thinks I'm wrong, but we know that I'm right, so he's not going to be saying anything in return, I don't think. He's going to be eating the pie. Right?
Probably because I'm hungry.
All right, so 3 movies that have 0%, but I think they're worth mentioning because I think people will believe that they have a chance. And I don't think they have a chance at all. First one is Blade. Gone through production hell. I don't know what's going on with this movie. And I might do this box office pie again. I'm going to say that before I actually get started. I might do this box office pie again and things can have a chance once I see more stuff, see a trailer and whatnot. So we will have to see. But at this stage, yeah, this is where it stands. So Blade, 0%. It's not part of it. Not even on the pie. Doesn't get a slice at all. Yeah, just, I think it's pretty clear why. Because one, the MCU quality decline and just the overall production, how this movie's gone through. It might be one of the most problematic MCU movies to get developed and put to the screen. Next one, surprise, Fantastic Four. 0 chance to win the worldwide box office. I don't think the casual movie-going audience care about this movie at all. I don't think they even know what Fantastic Four is. Fantastic Four has never worked in a film. And if it does, the MCU quality reputation has already been damaged enough that it's not going to get to $1 billion or 1.5 billion. I don't even know if it'll make 900 million. I'm just being perfectly honest. Perhaps. And remember, this can change. The cast and then, who's directing this? Is it John Watts? He does the Spider-Man movies?
I think so.
Very average.
I think so.
Yeah. So I don't think it's going to be a great movie. I think it's going to be fine and serviceable. But yeah, I think it has 0% chance. Another one that has 0% chance, the surprise one. You're going to be mad at what makes the pie, by the way. Superman Legacy. DC is going through hell. It's the first one of the DCU. We cannot expect it to be $1 billion movie. It's going to start off things. I mean, Man of Steel, that made like 600 and something million. First one of the most iconic superhero movies of all time. Start of a franchise. It's the same as this one here. And, perhaps 800 million if it gets good, but it's using quite unknown actors in terms of the big screen. I just don't see it. I don't even see it making $1 billion. It's got to start somewhere. DC has had a major brand damage. If the Flash can't even get 300 million, Superman can't get $1 billion. Let's be real.
So your definition.
Let's be real. He said it. He said the thing.
Let's ignore James. So your definition of making the pie is if it makes $1 billion?
No, I'm just using it as a benchmark because there are some movies in here that will make $1 billion.
So what is your justification for 0%? Like what?
0% means it has 0% chance to be the box office king for 2025.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in terms of what you just said, yes, I agree. All 3 films, definitely Blade.
But I know you're gonna refer to Avatar.
Yeah.
But movies have a chance. And you're about to see there are 7 movies, I believe, that have a chance. A sliver.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still think, no, spoiler alert, Avatar's going to be the king, no doubt. Absolutely no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Blade, I agree with you. That's just going to struggle to make budget, in my opinion. I mean, I think this is the MCU's version of New Mutants, where it's just development hell after hell.
Yeah.
I think Fantastic Four is going to surprise a lot of people, especially once the casting announcements come out.
Yeah.
And when trailers come out, I think you are underestimating
So it deserves a slice, deserves a percentage or something?
Deserves a percentage. Maybe we'll say low 10%. 10% under. Okay. Same with Superman. I mean, he is, if not top 2, definitely number 3 superhero of all time. His logo alone is the most iconic in the world, easily. I reckon.
Spider-Man's just too much of a beast now. I don't think anyone stops Spider-Man anymore.
But still, if you see that symbol, you know exactly who it is. Unless you're fresh out of the womb.
And they know what Spider-Man is.
Anyway, I think, it's James Gunn. I know you have faith in James Gunn.
Yeah.
Like it's James Gunn. He is credible, especially when it comes to the comic book market. He's done 3 films, and Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad did get a little bit of hate, but that's I think it's because people had a bad taste for the 2016 version and COVID as well.
And it bombed too. Even I know it released during COVID and day and date release, but even compared to other movies that had that same release model in that same time period, it did really bad.
I think it's because of the name, the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I think that's definitely part of it.
Yeah. So I think with that behind him, I think he would deserve a percentage of the thing. Obviously, he's not going to make it because Avatar. Still, in my opinion, spoiler alert.
But it has a chance, is what you think.
It has a chance.
Yeah.
I think those 2 films definitely have a slice of the pie.
Yeah.
Whether it's like a crumb or like the sauce or the gravy.
Yeah.
Depending where you're from. If you're from this northern hemisphere, it'll be the jam, whatever. Because we have meat pies down here, and you guys have sweet pies up there. Oh, can't wait for a sweet pie.
Yeah.
But God, I need to stop talking about this. I'm making myself really hungry.
We can call it something else. But no, I like box office pie.
But yeah, I think Blade literally has no chance unless it is absolutely stunning. Turns like John Wick sort of esque.
Yeah.
Choreography.
It would have to be.
Then I think it'll be. I think it'll be the biggest like surprise and the biggest turnaround for a film that's had so much production drama ever.
Yep.
Ever.
Yeah. For MCU standards, it's just had too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. But we're going to get onto the pie now. So some controversial ones are on the way. We've had some already. All right. So there's a tie for 1% of the pie. How to Train Your Dragon, the live action movie. I do believe there is a chance because it's live action. I feel like the movie is one of the few animated movies where it could even be better in the live action sense. I don't know if it is. I don't know much about it. I know there's just some castings recently, but we've had Game of Thrones recently. Remember how massive that was? Worldwide appeal, broke records everywhere for viewership. If it can replicate something like that, I do believe there is a chance, but the chance is so small that it gets 1%. So don't think that I think that. Just know that I believe there may be a 1% chance that it does. Next one is Moana live action. Now, this is one of the animated movies that I don't think
should
work, can work, or will work. But I think the casual audience will lap this up like nothing else, just because it is Moana was very recent, and The Rock is starring in the voice role that he did as well. So, yeah, and we know Disney are amazing at this stuff. Look what The Lion King did. They did like $1.6 billion.
It did.
Aladdin did $1 billion. I mean, their live action
based on nostalgia though, like 20 years worth of nostalgia.
But
not less than 10 years.
I do believe recency can help it, and when you have The Rock there as well, I think it has a chance because it could just blow up like out of nowhere.
If The Rock wasn't in it, still same thoughts.
I think it wouldn't have a chance at that point. So I think The Rock is a part of that. He makes up 0.5% off that pie.
So half the percent.
Yes. All right, with 3%, Fast X Part 2. Perhaps it's the last one in the series, allegedly. And I don't think it's going to make waves in the US market, but we know how worldwide audiences lap up this franchise like nothing else. Furious 7 did like 1.5. What was it? Fate of the Furious did like 1.2. If, it's massive in the China market. It's bigger in China than it is in the States. So if the China market really lap up the cliffhanger to Fast X, and then they come to this one, alongside you got The Rock in this one as well. And you got Jason Momoa. You got everyone coming back for it. I don't have faith that it will, but if there's a chance, I do believe there is a chance because you can't underestimate the Fast X franchise or the Fast franchise. All right. In fifth place, well, not fifth place, with 5% off the pie, Aladdin 2. The first one made nearly $1.1 billion. I mean, there's clearly a market for it. Nostalgia comes in again as well. I think I'd have to see what Mufasa the one next year, the Lion King one, because that's kind of like a sequel or a prequel.
Prequel.
Yeah, but it's still like the next one on the live action Lion King universe. If that does like $1.5 billion, then Aladdin definitely has a chance because these movies still make over $1 billion. I think that's just nuts. But Will Smith is meant to be returning, same cast and everything. If they can make it good, if they can capture, nostalgia and actually make it better than what the second original Aladdin was, there's a chance. There's 5% of a chance. Never underestimate Disney marketing or their movies. It's going to get really surprising for you. 15% of the pie, the Batman Part 2. I know you're happy to hear this one. 15% though. I know that the Batman first one is beloved. People love that movie.
There's people on Twitter that triggers me every time.
Yeah, I know. But hey, some people saying it's been The Dark Knight, and you put them in their place. I can see your replies there. That was funny to see.
No comment from them, by the way.
Yeah. Fair enough, because you are right. It's not been The Dark Knight. But yeah, no, it just shows that people love this franchise. If they can double down on the quality, on how good it is, I do believe it definitely stands a chance. I mean, it was nearly 3 hours long, and it got 770 million at the worldwide box office. I think as a starting point, and you can't deny the popularity of the Batman character. It's extremely second, top 2 superhero movie or superhero like characters in terms of popularity. So now that the first one's out of the way and people trust that world, that directing, and that that version of Batman, I think more people are going to come back for the second one, and I do believe it has a chance at taking the crown for the box office. Now this one you're gonna lose your shit at 30% of the pie. It's not Avatar. It's Minecraft. Hear me out for this one. It's Minecraft. 30%. It is the most popular video game of all time. And not by 10 million units, not by 20 million, 30 million units, but like 70 million units sold. It is the most popular video game of all time. We just saw what Mario did at the box office. I mean, I don't even need to say more. Jason Momoa attached to it. It's I know it's live action, so it could be weird, and if I see more about it and it looks weird and people won't get it, then perhaps not, and it will massively drop down on the slice. But the popularity of Minecraft, it appeals to our generation that have played it as they grew up, and it appeals to the new generation that are playing it right now. So what I saw from Super Mario, I do believe that video game movies, if done right, and if they're from a very extremely popular, video game franchises, and the most by all time by far, I do believe it has a really strong chance. Now we're obviously going to get to the king, the one that's pretty hard to dispute, but with 45% Avatar 3. Now it's not dominating the pie. Other movies, they need to have a chance. And what do we always say about Avatar in terms of what's its main box office appeal? Visuals, the new technology. This is only coming 3 years after the second one. So it's not going to have the same reliance on it. I know it covers fire or whatever, but are audience really going to come back for that? I do believe it will be the lowest one, the lowest Avatar, that is. I don't know how big this is going to go. I need to see a lot more from it, but the fact that it doesn't dominate this pie is because of that factor. And if it makes like $2.5 billion, then people just love the franchise. And you can't deny that anymore. It's not just the visuals anymore. But other movies have a chance. What do you think about this?
I need your phone to see what you put percentage-wise. What am I looking at?
Start with the controversial Minecraft one.
No, I work my way down from your 1%. I work in order. Let's not confuse the viewers here.
Fair enough.
But one I agree with. I think it's so fresh in people's minds, and it had that breakout hit song.
Yeah.
and whatnot. And the Rock's attached to it. I could see that easily. Rock in a wig. Oi, let's go. How to Train Your Dragon. I think that's on the fence. Really, I think that's on the whether it gets that knife cut or if it's one of those crumbs that just falls off.
It's got a 1%. You think like a 0.1?
Yeah, no, I think that could be a hit or miss. I depending on how they do the visuals and stuff.
I would need to see that to get a good glimpse at it.
Yeah, for sure. But I'll back your justification in regards to Moana just because it's just so fresh and it was hugely popular when it first came out based on the song, and you obviously had The Rock now acting in it as well.
Yeah.
Aladdin 2. Fast X Part 2. I don't know. I think Moana and Fast X should swap.
Really? Because Fast X got 700.
Yeah, but if you think about it, Fast X, it died very quickly before it went on to streaming.
Yeah.
Part 2, I think, it's just there.
Are people done with the franchise?
That sort of thing. I don't like. Obviously, people are going to go see it, but I don't think they'll go rewatch it.
Right.
I think we'll just have a massive opening weekend, and then those people that don't have time, they'll just go see it whenever they want. Because just should have entered at Fast 7.
Yeah.
Aladdin 2. If it's based on Return of the Jafar, it's not.
No, I don't know if it will, but I'm pretty sound in my thinking of that it won't be. I think because it was not good, right? In your opinion,
yeah. I'm gonna base what I'm about to say based on that. Aladdin 2 is.
I think it'll be its own thing.
Oh, okay. Okay. I have two opinions here. Then I guess. Let's just go with that. It's based on Return of the Jafar. Return of the Jafar was not as good as the first one. The first one, the nostalgia obviously carried it to that $1 billion height.
Yeah.
If it's Return of the Jafar, it's not even going to reach that. Not even close, for sure. Something new. Depends on what something new is. I still don't think I'll reach that $1 billion height because it's the nostalgia that is what carried Aladdin to that height.
So no slice of the pie for it?
It's hard to right now without seeing or hearing anything. I don't think it has a slice. I don't think it should have a slice right now. I think Fantastic Four Superman should have a slice over Aladdin 2.
Fair enough.
But because we don't know what Aladdin 2 is based on or what direction they're going on, I think it's very hard. Like, I don't even think Mufasa should have a. If you did a 2024 version, I don't think you should have a.
Because 2024 version, that's in the book.
All right, catch you guys 2 weeks time for that. Don't worry, I'll have a pie with me this time. Batman Part 2, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I think we'll have 15% of the time, percent of the pie. If
15?
if it's anything as good as the Batman, I think we'll beat it.
Yeah,
as in the first one, domestic wise, and not worldwide wise, box office wise.
Yeah,
but I think that's a respectable number. Minecraft, I can see where you're coming from, like most popular video game of all time, but then that's the key word, video game. And video game...
I'm just saying, we saw what Super Mario did, and it's not popular as Minecraft.
It is, but
it's not good.
But it's still very nostalgic to people.
Yeah. So is Minecraft.
Not as much as...
It's been around since the early 2000s.
Yeah, but...
2008, I think.
But...
Not to the extent of Mario, of course.
Is Minecraft just one game? Like, it doesn't have any spin-offs like Minecraft Racing or...
There's like Minecraft stories and main character stuff. There's a lot of Minecraft stuff out there.
Yeah.
Like, it's insanely popular.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just... Anything video game based, I'm just always on the fence with. It's really... Anything video game based, it's like something that you just need to wait and see. And then you can make a judgment. Like with Last of Us, obviously that property, everyone's going to say, yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
It was, because as soon as that first trailer dropped off, boom, it was fantastic. God of War, I'm going to say right now, we haven't heard, there's no casting for anything. I think it's going to be fantastic. But as soon as we get our first look, I can definitely make my mind and I can tell you now if it's going to be shit or not.
But remember, Super Mario Bros., which has 1.34 billion, that's rotten. And it made that money.
Yeah, I guess nostalgia has that.
Yeah, and it's not just nostalgia, it's just the fact that millions of people play it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mario has the nostalgia, but it doesn't have the modern relevancy that Minecraft does.
What's the age for Minecraft?
What's the what?
What's the age for Minecraft?
What do you mean the age?
As in, like, people that will go to see this.
It would definitely be the younger generations, our generation, and the generation below us.
Okay.
Especially the generation below us. And if it's a generation below us, they have to take their parents. So it's a family film then. But it's a live action Minecraft. I have no idea how it can work. And I think it's going to be garbage because of the way it sounds. And it's filming in New Zealand. It's got Jason Momoa in it. But purely based on what I saw Super Mario do, I mean, the potential is very high for it in terms of box office.
Like I said, I don't disagree with you. It's just the back of my mind. It's that video game curse, you know, that sort of like has me back in you 100%.
Do you think it's going away though? Like, I know this is
I think
away
it is.
from the pie. Yeah,
I think it is. Super Mario Bros. Definitely. Last of Us has definitely put that to bed. If God of War is a hit, then we can see like that rise of.
I mean, even
stuff.
Sonic.
Sonic.
They're not doing well, but it's like they're all right.
Yeah, and Dungeons and Dragons, that's based on a game, so to speak.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's a board game. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the trend is slowly starting to break, but
they're figuring it out.
Yeah, but I think there's always that bad taste, you know, like just because video game movies have always had that you know, thing.
I know that, but I just saw Mario release a bad movie and make a ton of money that it didn't deserve to make. Minecraft, I think, could make 1.8 billion.
1.8.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go.
If it's watchable, if it's really bad, because I think Mario it was like mixes around the 50% mark, which is like, you know, either or you love it or you hate it. If it's like, you know, 20%, and if it's truly bad, then obviously not.
Yeah.
But the potential I think is up there.
Yeah.
If it's a great movie and it's a Minecraft movie, is 2 billion out of the question? Truly. If it's a great movie and Minecraft.
I don't think I'll hit 2 billion. I think I'll come very close. Similar to No Way Home.
Yeah. I think there is potential in that.
Yeah. Moving away from Minecraft now. Avatar, I think it's just a given, you know, like regardless of whether the visuals reinvent anything or not, the visuals are still going to be better than anything we'll see from now till then.
Yeah,
guaranteed. Like, enough said.
It is Avatar. I mean,
enough said.
It's pretty indisputable.
Yeah, I think there's a podcast when I said that Avatar, when it comes to Oscars, like if you're up against Avatar, you're going to lose.
Yeah. Yep.
For best visual effects.
Absolutely.
And same could be said for this. When it comes to box office, I don't even think like Avengers Endgame could potentially have a hold like something esque of that level.
Yeah.
And I don't think we'll ever get something as big comic book wise from Avengers Endgame because they had 10 years and now we're getting to like 3-4 years. I don't think they can build anything up.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I think Avatar. Every time you see Avatar on a year schedule, it's likely to be number 1, 2 billion.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Minecraft takes the best visual effects, but Avatar because what it's going to be is going to be like a little block thing, and it's going to be More's face, like how it was on MODOK for Ant-Man Quantumania. Nah, it's just going to be him walking the New Zealand landscapes, New Zealand hills.
Be like, my man.
No, maybe we should do a best picture pie sometime. We'll just do pies for everything from now on.
No, because then like it makes me hungry.
Yeah, no, we'll support it with real food. We'll have real food in our area. I'll just buy like 10 pies per podcast, and
you have one, we'll have the rest.
No, we'll divide it by slices. Yeah, like, since you're excited for the Batman Part 2, you get 15% off the pie.
As in one pie or 10 pies?
No, the one pie, the box office pie. And since Avatar 3 is my baby, I get 45% of that pie. I think that sounds good. Sounds fair to me. I can hear your stomach growling from here. He's truly hungry. We're going to move on from the box office pie because his stomach is not liking this. He's about 1.5 meters away from me and I can hear the stomach going off. So yeah, no more pies. We're going to move on to some Deadpool 3.
About T. James's lip balm. That's the only conceivable thing I can see in my face right now.
Do you want to eat this?
No.
Yeah,
because I'd probably die. You see the Warriors win a premiership. Let's go.
That's when he'll die. He'll have to survive to at least 100. But Deadpool 3, we're going to move on to some of that news now. seems like we keep talking about this, and it's for good reason, but Elektra is coming. She's joining him. Jennifer Garner will be returning alongside Ben Affleck as Daredevil. I don't really have much recollection of Daredevil or the Elektra movie, but I believe she's in Daredevil, right? With Ben Affleck?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't really have much recollection of that.
And she has her own movie.
Yes.
Yep.
But her filming scene's already completed, apparently. But yeah, it really does seem like Deadpool 3 is the multiverse of madness that we've been waiting for. So I'll ask you about that later. But in terms of Jennifer Garner returning as Elektra, Deadpool 3, how do you feel about that?
I don't really care. I mean, it's a character that has no significant meaning for me personally.
It was a fun cameo.
Oh yeah, it's a fun. I'm getting there, mate.
Sorry, I'm impatient.
Like, I can't recall her film, the solo Elektra film at all. I remember bits and bobs of Ben Affleck's Daredevil. So in terms of nostalgia wise, it's just like anyone that goes see it's like, oh, okay, it's Jennifer Garner. It will be cool to obviously see these characters. You know, they're reprising this role from like 20 plus years. It'll be awesome just to see them in that suit. It'll be like, it's not like oh my god, it's like fireworks and scream and shit. It's just more of like, oh fuck, that's cool. Yeah, you know, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's really annoying me about Deadpool 3 right now is how they're announcing all of these things like, oh, Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen's going to be in there and blah, 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 and blah, blah, and blah, blah, blah.
They're not announced.
Yeah, I know, but like rumors and stuff like that.
Sources are picking them up. This is Hollywood Reporter reporting it. It's not some random.
Yeah, I know, but the gist of what my comments is leaning towards is like,
I agree, yeah.
Like if it does come into fruition, it's just like, oh, like cool when you're watching it, but back in your mind, it's like, oh, I shouldn't know about that. So this sort of stuff. Like Elektra and Daredevil, like Ben Affleck's Daredevil, I didn't give a fuck about. Like fucking announce that, I didn't give a shit. But something like because they're not that like the movies are shit for a start.
Yeah,
and obviously we have Daredevil, the Netflix series, which is 10 times better.
Yep,
20 times better than what we got on that. But like stuff like Ian McKellen coming back and Patrick Stewart, you know, like any of the original X-Men, like keep that close to your chest as possible because that surprise factor is gonna. That's what made Endgame work so well is they kept so much close to their chest. They revealed bits, but then it was those moments that made people drive to those cinemas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the same could be said for John Krasinski's Mr. Fantastic. But like, if this is the multiverse sort of film that we're supposed to get, keep all that shit close to your chest because you could easily transition that into the MCU version of the X-Men and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this sort of stuff, I'm happy with that. And you know, the original Fantastic Four, sure, announce them that they're going to be in it because I don't really care. But like when it comes to like X-Men sort of characters and stuff like that, people that would actually like make people and myself lose their minds. Yeah. Don't announce it. Keep it to yourself because I can guarantee you, if you announce it, it's not going to be half as big as if you make it a surprise because that word of mouth when you be like, bro, you need to go see this because there's a particular cameo in there that's going to make you lose your mind. Yeah, that's going to make people go watching that. But if you be like, oh yeah, Jean Grey's in there, they'll be like, oh, I've seen Jean Grey before. Yeah, in 2 different versions. Who cares? Yeah, you know? But that's my thoughts. Yeah, what's yours on this?
I mean, we're kind of going off topic here with a whole new segment, but I would actually love to discuss more detail because I was actually thinking it while noting down what we should be talking about today. It's the fact that like at least every time that I seem to host is always like a new casting thing, and it's like like it's not just some like random person on Twitter stating that he has a source that says this. Now it's like the Hollywood Reporter and then like Variety. It's like this really like highly regarded publications, probably the biggest in terms of film industry, like announcing it now, and it is very annoying. I'll touch upon the fact that Elektra is back first, and I'll get into your deeper thoughts. Then, but Elektra coming back, Jennifer Garner again. I don't really,
care.
I don't care that much. There will be a moment in the cinema if I didn't know about this, be like, oh shit, interesting, cool, yeah. It'd be like that, honestly. But so it's kind of like a fun throwback, but it's not one where I'm like, oh my god, this has to happen, like, or anything. It's nothing that special to me. It's just a fun little thing that I think can add to the multiverse of madness kind of element to what this movie seems to be building up to.
Yeah.
Because when you think about the multiverse of madness, going through like all these universes and seeing, all these old actors and their old characters, it would be fun to see. But going to your point now, we know about it, so it's not that fun anymore.
Not that impactful.
Yeah, because I know it's coming. When I see it, I'm like, yeah, they were reported. It's just it kind of ruins things. And it's something that we need to, I think, discuss on deeper detail with this. But I don't understand why it's happening. I think Marvel security, there's a leak in Marvel. And I don't know if you've seen them on Twitter. I think that's with the most prominent.
As an insider.
The insider, My Time to Shine, hello.
Oh, I didn't know there was actual names. I just meant like an insider.
Do you know that account? It's the one that just knows everything. It's that person. And they have 130,000 followers or something like that on Twitter. And when I know Hollywood Reporter said this, but they said that just before Hollywood announced it. So they are an insider. They know everything about Marvel. And Marvel needs to tighten up what's leaking out.
Have they said anything about anything recently?
The account that I just referred to.
Off the top of your head, if you can't remember.
Nothing on the top of my head, but they just said like Deadpool and Elektra and Daredevil 3.
Yep.
Oh, not Daredevil 3. Deadpool 3. But yeah, so there is a leak in Marvel and there needs to be better security. I don't know how they could do it. I'm not going to suggest that because that's not my position. But yeah, from a consumer fan point of view, I'm sick of this. And like, I don't fully come from where you're saying where, I don't care about Elektra being announced or that. I don't want any of this announced because I always have to write this down in the show notes so we can, prepare what we're going to say and
you don't
how we feel about. I know, but like, it's not just that. It's the fact that I already knew about it before doing this.
Yeah.
Before writing these notes, I just see it and it's like, and they're so widely reported on. Hollywood does it, and then all of them do it. All of the publications.
Yeah.
Because clicks. Exactly. And it's the fact that this information is just so widespread. It really, I think it is going to diminish Daredevil. Oh, I don't know why I keep saying
Deadpool.
Deadpool 3. I'm just sick of Deadpool. Yeah, I think it really is going to diminish not the impact, but the experience of that movie. Because what I know from that movie, before a trailer, before filming is finished,
before Captain America, New World.
Yes, exactly. And I just know all these cameos. I know what's coming, and I'm like, oh hey, this is the multiverse of madness that I wanted. But I know all the cameos. It's even Spider-Man No Way Home had this issue, but they covered it up well enough. We kind of knew they were coming, but we still thought like,
was it like, nah, they might pull a fast one on us.
Yeah. It was very up in the air.
But I think it's a different scenario because having Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in a Spider-Man film with Tom Holland is legendary. So whether you believe the rumors are true or not, you're gonna put your ass on seats to see if it does come into reality. But let's say, argument's sake, Ben Affleck's Daredevil and Elektra.
Yep.
Not even most people will be like, Daredevil was Batman. Jennifer Garner was Elektra. That they used to be together. I'm pretty sure that that's the reason why they became married was because of Daredevil. Now they're broken up, so it's gonna be awkward on the set unless they have a good whatever, break up, divorce, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really cares because they're not really. Spider-Man is like a tier villain, villain, superhero.
Yeah.
Daredevil and Elektra is like
They're not.
I think that
Yeah.
if the Netflix series didn't happen,
Mhm.
I think they'll be like C or D.
Yeah, I mean, I still think Daredevil's a C.
Yeah.
At most. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that meme where it's like Daredevils and Spider-Man No Way Home, and then someone like cheers out like, yeah, and it's just like,
Oh, yeah,
it's just like
silent.
it's just
Yeah,
him.
I have seen that.
So I don't know if it's widespread, but at least in my screenings, people were like, oh, when he came into the frame. So he may be a B list kind of superhero in terms of popularity.
Mm-hmm.
But question for you, and I think we could touch upon this on another slow news week. Do you think that Marvel is just kind of letting these leaks like be leaked just for the sake of hyping the movie up?
I know what you're getting to.
Yeah.
Yes, I do think so.
Is it
I'll
another question to add on to what your thoughts are here? Do you think it's a smart strategy by them if that is the case?
God, do you want to go in depth in this or not?
Yeah, let's go in depth.
Okay. Oh shit, I forgot your first question. The leak stuff purposely.
Do you think Marvel's allowing it?
I think they are. I think they were so tight on Endgame and it worked for them, and now Phase 4 it was very poor from them that they just want people back. I mean, they try to keep tight-lipped about Multiverse Madness.
Yeah,
that's somewhat backfired in their face. So they're just like, let's make all these leaks right now so we can get people into cinemas. But all these leaks they're leaking right now is fucking for characters that no one gives a fucking shit about. Like, who gives a fuck about Elektra? No one cares about Elektra. Fuck. Like, just you're an idiot.
That's fair. I am.
Like, because it's just dumb. Like, if you're gonna leak something, you leak something from the cool X-Men franchise, because that is more popular, that is more recognition, and that is more engaging for casual movie viewers than Elektra that no one's barely heard about.
Well, all the X-Men people are supposedly back, as have been leaks. Same with Elektra and Daredevil. Do you think it's a smart strategy if Marvel's just allowing it to get people back into the seats? Do you think it's a smart strategy to get them back, or should these just remain surprises regardless?
I think they should remain surprises because I think the best part of box office is a surprise. You know, the word of mouth. Like, say you saw this film before I did, you come into here. You know how big of a comic book fan I come in and like, bro, you need to go see this because there's a cameo in there that you're gonna lose your shit about.
Yeah.
If you told me if I knew what that cameo is, I'd be like, okay, cool. I know exactly what I'm gonna expect. I'll just go see it in my own time. And eventually I might forget because of busy schedule and priorities and stuff like that.
Yep.
But if it's like, if you don't give me any context and be like, oh shit, I'm very intrigued about this. And if you keep mentioning it every time we meet up, I'm like, okay, fuck you, cunt. We're going to go. Because I want you to shut up about this and I want to see it now.
Yeah.
So I think secrecy is very, very valuable. And I think movie studios don't realize that. Great marketing employee if you're Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know, if you're an A-list sort of superhero film, you can somewhat tease that without confirming it.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to go based on Elektra here because that's the topic. If you're going to tease, Elektra's in this, you're not going to be like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah. No, I think with Spider-Man, it's on like a completely different tier.
Yeah.
But you know, the Flash in its marketing, it had Batman.
It did.
Yeah.
But then it was part of a fan franchise that was dead before it was even like it.
Yeah, maybe it's not a fair comparison.
Yeah, because they killed it. Because we already knew that we're getting James Gunn's thing. The whole slate was announced before Flash even came about,
which is a bit silly.
If the Flash happened and then that slate was announced, it could be a different story. People could be seeing it, be like, okay, James Gunn's making a new universe. How is the Flash going to transition into that?
Yeah,
and then because the slate came out and it has no real relevancy to the events of the Flash, really. Not spoiler alert, because obviously no one's going to fucking see that.
Yeah. We just know that George Clooney is the new Batman. No, he's not. He's not. That was just a joke. I'll say that before
triggers me.
Then he gets too mad. But we're gonna keep talking about rumors and inside leaks now. Sue Storm in Fantastic Four. Apparently, Vanessa Kirby has been offered the role for Sue Storm, who is Invisible Woman for Fantastic Four. Margot Robbie, Adam Driver's, their payday was just too high, and now they're out of the running for the role. All the roles in the Fantastic Four are in flux right now. So, no deal has been made yet, but it is Vanessa Kirby's role for the taking. It did just get delayed a few months, so I guess it buys Marvel a little bit more time with these casting decisions. How would you feel about Vanessa Kirby being Sue Storm in Fantastic Four?
I'm on board.
Yeah?
My top pick is Jodie Comer. I mean,
Yes.
I just want her to be it so bad because I think she'll be able to do the role justice. It's that breakout role for her. Same comments, but towards Vanessa Kirby. I mean, especially after Mission Impossible, she'll be on a lot of people's minds. She's a fantastic actress. She has like subtle things she does with her faces that would be fantastic for this role as well. I think she'll be a great fit. I mean, obviously blonde hair and stuff. You don't need a wig for that. I think she'll be great. And obviously it's a breakout role because not many people will know Vanessa Kirby outside of Mission Impossible and Hobbs and Shaw, really.
She was on Hobbs and Shaw. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Unless you watch The Crown, then
yeah, she's in that. It's a popular series.
Yeah, unless you watch that. So I'm all board for it, and I'd love to see her in this because I think she'll be able to do Sue Storm justice. But it depends on her co-stars, really, because, I mean, you can't expect her to carry an entire group. If she's the main sort of thing, you need someone on their same level.
Yeah.
But to address your question, I'll be more than happy. She'll be my second pick, really.
Second pick? That's fair enough. I do think that, Vanessa Kirby would be very good in the role. She's a demonstrated talent in the industry. She's been nominated for an Oscar, so I mean, if that says enough about the potential on acting ability, and if you're nominated for an Oscar, you can definitely act in the MCU. Acting in the MCU seems a little bit easier based on what actors say in that, just because it's in a green screen room and all this kind of stuff.
You don't have to do on stunts.
Yeah. So, I think she'd be really good for the role. Obviously, appearance wise and the comic book look, she would obviously fit that quite well. I think there is like a large, or not large, but like there's a lot of people where I wouldn't mind if they got it. Samara Weaving, Jodie Comer, Vanessa Kirby. If any of them got it, I think I'd be happy with it. I think what I'm
is it because it's all like unknown sort of actresses?
It's not unknown, but they are like. They need like a massive breakout.
Not as popular. Sorry.
Yes, yeah, it is part of that. And I'm not after like a really well known person like Margot Robbie, for instance.
Yeah.
Who was in the running for this? I think since I have like a lot of like, I guess candidates that I would like love to be in the role, I can only pick one. Obviously, it would be more based on whoever Mr. Fantastic's going to be. And the chemistry there. And beyond that, who's going to be Human Torch? And even beyond that, the Thing. I think the group, they just need to have some sort of like charisma and like natural chemistry between them. I'll go back to Mission Impossible. I'm not going to spoilers or anything, but Haley Atwell and Tom Cruise, they were just magnetic, together. Like it just felt so natural.
Ever since that first scene at the Met as well, you're just like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
This is, in the 1 second that I've seen you guys, there's more chemistry than Henry Cavill and Amy Adams.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, I mean, like, I think part of it has to be how all the cast members of the Fantastic Four, how their chemistry is. I think that's a bigger precursor to me in terms of what I want out of Sue Storm or Mr. Fantastic or Human Torch. So
what do you think? Sorry, what do you think is more key? Because obviously Sue Storm and Mr. Fantastic have that romantic relationship, but then also Sue Storm and Human Torch are brother and sister.
Yeah.
What chemistry would you have more? The romantic side or the brother and sister side?
I'm gonna say romantic side. Just because I don't think the MCU has enough romance in it. Or to be quite, I guess, vulgar, they don't have enough sex in it. I think it just needs to be more adult in that sense. So I think, like, what other relationships in the MCU? There's no longer Spider-Man and
Iron Man.
Zendaya's. There's Iron Man who's no longer around.
Peggy and Captain America, but that was barely developed.
Dead. Oh, well, they're gone now. So
Captain America and Winter Soldier, Captain America,
like relationships.
Hulk and Black Widow.
Isn't Black Widow died?
Yeah, but remember how they had
active relationships of two characters alive and they are in a relationship and thriving. Is there one?
Wonder and Vision. That's probably the most that we've seen.
There's White Vision and Fake Vision and
Pepper Potts and Iron Man is obviously the top one, but one's dead.
That's not that strong. So I think the relationship between those two that's absolutely key. What?
No, I can't say it. I can't say it. Just
Okay.
move on.
All right. So yeah, I think the relationship between those two is more important than the brother and sister element, and I think Mr. Fantastic holds a very key role in the future of the MCU. He is a very big character, smartest person alive, obviously. So his relevancy going into different sagas is crucial. So they need to be able to, have good chemistry with Sue Storm and the rest of the Fantastic Four crew.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to move on to our grand finale now, and that is our preview of the New Zealand Film Festival. So you guys are just going to be knowing what we're going to be seeing throughout this and just kind of what we're most excited for, what ones we think were maybe the best or whatnot. We're just going to have a little bit of discussion on that. All right. So I'm going to break these into different movies and just explain the basic premise of the movie. So opening night, and this is next Wednesday. Opening night, we're going to Anatomy of a Fall. It won the Palme d'Or at Cannes Film Festival. And so basically that movie is about a woman who is suspected of her husband's murder, and their blind son faces a moral dilemma as the sole witness, which sounds insane. Another one we're going to is called Reality. Now, I know this is on HBO Max, supposedly, but it's about a former American intelligence specialist was given the longest sentence for the unauthorized release of government information to the media about Russian interference in the 2016 United States elections via an email operation. Next one I'm going to is a world premiere. It's not that fancy, guys. It's a
world premiere is taken very loosely here, guys.
It is a world premiere, but it's for a New Zealand-made movie. So we got to support our local boys here. Hope you guys understand. But it's called Loop Track, and we thought we'd go to this one because it does have a pretty interesting concept to it. Could be quite good. So Loop Track, it's about a man that's on the verge of a nervous breakdown, retreats to the bush, only to encounter other trampers and someone or something else entirely. So some mystery and psychological thrillness there to be.
Sounds like Black Mirror episode 4. The werewolf one.
No, we don't like that one. Next one is Monster. This one's getting a lot of recognition as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a mother demands answers from the teacher when her son begins acting strangely. So it's a very loose description of the premise there, but I know the director. The director did Shoplifters, was it?
Oh, I haven't read much into it.
Yeah,
except
no.
for the synopsis.
It's a great director, which is why I'm so excited for this one. Next one is River. This one's not that well known, but the premise is quite interesting. It's a time loop movie. So where every 2 minutes time rewinds and everyone returns to where they were. Some want to get out of the loop, others want to stay. Yet they all have issues they need to solve. While watching everyone join forces to investigate the cause, Makoto, the protagonist, finds herself more and more alone. So I think the time loop aspect being 2 minutes is something quite intriguing to us. Another one is Past Lives. Now this one's quite probably one of the better ones for our film festival here because Celine Song, the director of this one, is coming. It's going to be a Q&A, so it's going to be quite a big night for us. It's about Nora and Hae Sung, two deeply connected childhood friends who are wrestled apart when Nora's family immigrates from South Korea. 20 years later, they're reunited for one fateful week as they confront notions of love and destiny. So yeah, that one should be pretty good. Next one, don't judge us. I probably shouldn't even say it, but don't judge us. We found this one mildly interesting.
This is from a meme, an internal meme.
It is memey, but it's in a film festival, so it could be good. But it's called Good Boy. Christian, a millionaire here, meets Sigrid, a young student, on a dating app. They hit it off quickly, but there's only one problem. Christian lives with Frank, a man who dresses up and constantly acts like a dog. It's more memey, but there could be something interesting there. It sounds interesting enough for us to purchase tickets to go to this one. Next one, December. 20 years after their notorious tabloid romance gripped the nation, a married couple buckles under the pressure when an actress arrives to do research for a film about their past. Next one, that one stars, was it Julianne Moore and Natalie Portman? I know it's directed by Todd Haynes. I forgot what he's done, but he's a good director. But yeah, I think it's Julianne Moore. So two quite reputable actresses in that one.
Yeah, Julianne Moore and Natalie Portman. Yeah.
Next one we're gonna go see is How to Have Sex. 3 British teenage girls go on a rites of passage holiday, drinking, clubbing, and hooking up in what should be the best summer of their lives. There's a lot more to it than that. It sounds pretty.
Just sounds like Sprung Break if you read that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like just an R-rated comedy, but it is a little bit more deeper than that. The closing night, we're going to be going to Fallen Leaves. It's about 2 lonely people who meet each other by chance in the Helsinki night and try to find the first love of their lives. So, Nan, there is lots of movies here, lots of different kinds of ones and genres and weirdness to it. Which one are you looking forward to most?
One.
Do your most one, and then just other ones you're excited for.
I really love the plot for Anatomy of Fall, Monster and River.
Well, what was it?
Anatomy of a Fall, Monster and River.
What's the first one?
Anatomy of a Fall.
All right, sorry, I didn't get.
Were you
that.
mocking me?
No. I think you just said it really fast.
If I had to pick right here and right now, which one I'm most anticipated for,
yeah.
Well, that'd be Monster. I think that gives me real Parasite vibes in terms of how unexpected.
Yeah.
I'll get blown away by this film. The premise is fantastic as well. You know, the mother going to their teacher as to why their son is behaving differently to what they are at home.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just fantastic. Yeah. Korean film, Japanese film.
I think it's Japanese. Yeah, because he's a shoplifter. Yeah, I think it's Japanese.
Yeah, Japanese film. I mean, I think this could be the 2023 version of Parasite. Might not be as good.
Yeah,
but I think we're in for
potential's there.
Yeah. The other 2 films, you know, Anatomy of Fall and River. I mean, River, it's a time loop movie. We've seen a lot of those. You know, Happy Death Day, Groundhog Day, etc. But I've never seen it really in a foreign sort of aspect before. Or me personally, I haven't seen it in a foreign aspect. And the fact that the time frame is so short.
2 minutes.
Usually it's a day. Now it's 2 minutes. So you expect every 2 minutes to be different.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And then you got Anatomy of the Fall, that one cans. That whole plot is fucking stupid. Like, the fuck? Like, someone being accused for murder and literally the only witness is someone that's blind. They can't see it. Like, yeah, what the fuck is going to happen in this movie?
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all real. All 3 of those are real contenders for my most anticipated. But I think Monster interests me more just because I have that Parasite vibes.
Yeah.
When it first came onto MG, I think I thought nothing of Parasite, and I was literally blown away. So
Yeah, I remember when we were going to go see it, you're like, sure, should we?
yeah,
And then you came out of it, you're like, oh my God, that's so good.
yeah. So I hope that happens with me this time.
Yeah.
I really do. Good boy. That's a meme. It's a meme at this point. I don't care how good or shit it is. It's just going to be a meme because of what's happened outside of these mics.
Nothing has happened outside of these mics.
Everything's happened outside of these mics. The one that's intriguing is how to have sex, really, because that plot is, or what you said on air is quite vague, and everyone's going to be like, oh, it's just very spring break or like your typical teenage sort of things, and then you drop those hints off. Oh, there's more to it than meets the eye and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully our listeners listen to that and actually go see it, because that more than meets the eyes, that could be, the next Greta Gerwig coming up into the scenes to the director wise, because no one thought of that when she first came on.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your most anticipated for our film festival? And when we say New Zealand Film Festival, it is Auckland Film Festival.
Yeah. What am I most excited for? I mean, it really depends, because if you're talking about event, which is kind of the movie.
No, just the movie.
Just the movie?
Just the movie, not
okay,
not the event.
I'm really excited to see Celine Song and that Q&A with her, because she may be nominated for an Oscar this year. So
not the event, just the movie.
Okay, well, regardless, I'm still excited for Past Lives, because it is incredibly highly rated, and all you lucky American friends, you guys have already seen it because it's already out where you are. But it's trending so well for the Oscars, and there's not much more praise that you can give a movie. So excited for that one. Anatomy of a Fall won Canes. What else won Canes? Parasite won Canes. Triangle of Sadness won Canes. Those two are my top 10, both nominated for Best Picture. So I think this one will be nominated for Best Picture, and I think it'll be good. Huh?
And won.
Exactly. Yes, Parasite did win, that was a good surprise. What else? I think those two are my main two, but obviously Monster I'm really looking forward to. Good Boy for the meme. I just think that's a nice break.
Palate cleanser.
Yes, Nayan's term that he coined in terms of watching movies, palate cleanser. Good Boy. That's what it is, because we are watching a lot of heavy movies in a very short span of time. It does take quite a toll based on mental energy and all that kind of stuff. Fallen Leaves on closing night. I think that could be quite sweet. I've heard good things about that. So I think all of these movies really do have potential outside of Good Boy to be something interesting or something quite good. The Loop track, I'm always quite iffy about New Zealand cinema. Obviously, me and you, we want to support it where we can. And so we're going to one here, and it's world premiere. Interesting premise.
That's the one I'm giving up the Warriors for, eh?
Yeah, that's a double feature that night.
Yeah.
So yeah, we better hope it's good, or we're going to hear about it from Nan. So yeah, please be good New Zealand movie. But we've had good New Zealand movies in the past, so there's no reason to think that this won't be.
Definitely.
But we've got a good lineup ahead. It's intense. You're going to be seeing a lot of reviews from us throughout July and the start of August.
Yeah.
If we get some interesting Q&A footage or I guess coverage from Celine Song and Past Lives, we may be covering that as well, because that could add value as well, especially to this evolving Oscar race.
Just one thing, and we pleaded this when Cairns came out, was that New Zealand Film Festival had to bring Killers of the Flower Moon, and they didn't. So, damn you, New Zealand Film Festival.
I was really hoping for it. We did get Asteroid City, by the way, but the fact that it's coming out on digital and that it will be released publicly in New Zealand cinemas about, I think just at the end of the film festival, we decided to just wait for the press screening for that one. It made sense.
Yeah, it did.
It was a little bit disappointing, but yeah, no Killers of the Flower Moon, unfortunately.
Sad about that, but
but we'll look forward to it regardless in October.
Oh, that far.
Yeah. Oh, it's not too bad. It's only 3 months. It'll go by fast. Yeah. But for now, look forward to Blue Beetle. All right. And that is going to do it for us on today's episode. We hope that you enjoyed today's discussion as much as we did. Thank you so much for tuning in. Your support and engagement, it does mean a lot to us. If you liked what you heard from us, follow us on your favorite podcast platform and considering us, giving us a rating, hopefully 5 stars if we deserve it. Stay connected with us on Twitter and YouTube as well. Before we say goodbye, we just want to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with our discussion? Flick us a message at MovieGainz on any of the platforms. Share your perspective and we can have a conversation there. For 4K movie reviews, box office analysis, award season coverage, visit MovieGainz.com. Sign up for our weekly movie newsletter to stay up to date with everything that we do. Thanks again for joining us and we'll catch you next time. Keep bringing the hype. Peace.
See you later.